Happy World Read Aloud Day, a special day all about sharing your favorite stories. To celebrate, I'm going to share with you my picture book, my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Are you ready to begin? Are you ready to read my very favorite book in the whole wide world? Written by me, Malcolm Mitchell, and illustrated by Michael Roberton. And I must add, the illustrations are incredible. So let's begin. Hi, I'm Henley, and this is a story about finding my very favorite book in the whole wide world. But it wasn't as easy as it sounds. Reading can be hard, you know. Henley, I understand. Once upon a time, everyone thought I hated to read, but that's just not true. In some books, the words are too big, the sentences too long, and there are way too many pages. In other books, the pictures have zero to do with cool things I like or with what's inside of me. I do try, but some books are so giant, if I stood on them, I would turn into a giant. Other books are so boring, I'd rather use them as pillows. When I'm supposed to be reading homework, I'd rather play football in the backyard. When I'm asked to read the cookbook to help make dinner, I would rather see how many grapes I can fit into my mouth. Once I took a wagon full of books to the town swimming pool to find out how good they could swim. Henley's something else, isn't he? When I tried to read books about dinosaurs, they made my brain hurt. So I gave the books back to the dinosaurs. I tried reading books about mountains, pickles, aliens, monsters, cats chasing mice, and mice chasing cats. I even found a book about cats chasing mice up a mountain while aliens eat pickles with monsters. But none of those made reading easier or more fun. But that all changed when Mrs. Joy gave the worst homework assignment ever. Find your very favorite book in the whole wide world and bring it to school tomorrow. It can be a book about anything. Just make sure you love it because you'll be sharing it with the class. Uh-oh. The school bell sounded like 100 horns blowing in my ear. Thinking about the yucky homework assignment gave me a super headache and made my hands sweaty. Anyone's hands get sweaty when they have to read. Sometimes mine do. On the way home from school, I stopped by the mighty library hoping to find any book that could be my very favorite. My friends went into the library ahead of me. When it comes to finding books, I'm not so fast. Inside, there was a nice man sitting behind a jumbo-sized desk. I asked him if he could help me find my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Because sometimes we need help finding our favorite book. He showed me books about science and adventure and squishy animals. He flipped through the pages of books about flags, farms, and holidays. He'd found plenty of books with twisty big words, sentences as long as my legs, and pictures that tangled the pages. It gave me the heebie-jeebies. When I saw my friends in the middle of the library having fun and reading, I felt more lost than ever. Sometimes it can be lonely trying to find your very favorite book. Sometimes others may find their very favorite book faster than you, but that does not mean you won't find yours. The next place I tried was Miss Rackley's bookshop. Maybe she could help me find my favorite book. Mrs. Rackley did what she does best. She brought piles and piles of books. I looked and looked and looked, but I couldn't call any of them my very favorite book in the whole wide world. All those pages and all those words made my eyes tired. I realized it was going to take a book miracle to find my very favorite book. I grew a sad face and stumped all the way home. Poor Henley's having trouble finding his favorite book. Mama was unloading the dryer and she could tell I was having a crummy day. I told her all about the worst ever homework assignment. The librarian and Miss Rackley tried their best to help me find a book, but it was no use. I'll never find my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Oh, poor Henley. With a voice as warm as rolls from the oven, Mama said, Henley, sometimes the best stories can be found inside ourselves. After a sweet kiss on the forehead, Mama's words lit up inside me. That's when I had a brilliant idea. The next morning, I could hardly wait for my turn to share my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Henley's frown turned upside down into a smile. Someone's happy. I stood proud as all eyes in the reading circle stared at me. Everyone thinks I hate to read, but that's not true. Yes, some words are too big and some sentences are too long, but that's not the biggest challenge. That's not my biggest challenge. Before today, I just hadn't found a book I wanted to read. I hadn't found the words or pictures or pages or sentences or subjects that showed me. So last night I wrote a book. It's called My Very Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. It's about a big, fat, bumpy journey to finding the perfect book. The book has words and pictures and pages that show me, and that show you, me. When I started reading my book out loud for everyone to hear, I struggled. But soon my words began to flow. The pictures I drew danced off the pages. Everyone can have a very favorite book in the whole wide world, even if they have to write it. When I was done telling my story, all my classmates clapped and cheered. My teacher gave me a gold star on my homework assignment. And that, my friends, that is the truth. That's my very favorite book in the whole wide world. I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope you continue your journey to find your very favorite book in the whole wide world if you haven't already. If you have found your very favorite book, I encourage you to help someone else find their favorite book. I want to encourage you to continue to read because I believe reading unlocks our potential and allows us to accomplish all of our dreams. So keep reading. I'm Malcolm. I hope you enjoyed the book, and if you ever need me, please find me.